Right.
Poisonous vibration. Help my body run. I'm running for my life. Running for my life. Sipping on straight glory. Let the vibe slide over me. This beat is a chemical. Beat is a chemical. When I leave, don't save my seat.
Need your pressure washing supplies fast? PPW Express brings you top brands, always in stock, and a mobile app that lets you order in seconds. Enjoy same-day shipping on every order placed before 3 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Eastern. Download the PPW Express app today.
Stand out with custom gear from DAB Marketing. No design fees, no minimum orders. Just premium sublimated shirts built for the service industry. Look professional, look sharp. Get your gear from DAB Marketing.
Good evening. Happy Thursday, everybody. It's Anthony here with Trudy, the host of the most, the queen of clean, down in the Panhandle from Panhandle Power Wash Supply. We're here tonight. Got a special guest, one of our good friends, our good old buddy, Mr. Phil Conway from down in the south end of Florida down there around Daytona. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
We're going to be talking about some of the stuff he's got going on, his build to scale thing that he's going around and teaching about. And he's been up in Alabama, so if some of my Bama boys got a chance to see him, I know he was a blessing to everybody because he lights up the room. He's got so much knowledge and wisdom when it comes to the stuff he's doing. If you listen to him and does the things he say you do, you'll build your business and you'll scale it to where it needs to be, at, and how to do it. And he's going to tell us about himself, same old routine, Phil, that we go through every time we're on the show, because somebody you're probably going to hear it, and they don't know who you are, so I ain't going to do it no justice. But the man
sir.
For himself, Phil.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, good evening, everybody. My name's Phil Conway. It is Conway. If you guys search me on Facebook, it's Comway. M as in Mike. The reason being is because I come from a background in law enforcement, and Facebook never let me change my name back when I was trying to trick all the criminals to not find me on Facebook, which worked for a very long time. So, but now I'm stuck with Phil Conway instead of Conway.
I told that to Tracy last night when she was like, "What's up with this?"
Yeah, people ask me all the time, but there's nothing I can do about it. The presence is set there now, and Facebook has some strict regulations once you start getting into the deep end of it. So
I said he was in law enforcement, so it may have something to do with it.
Yeah, probably.
So before we start, I want to wish Anthony and his beautiful wife Tracy a happy anniversary. So, how many years?
9 years.
9.
Awesome. Happy anniversary, Anthony.
Thank you, sir. She put up with me for 9 years.
That's crazy. I can barely deal with you for an hour. No, I'm kidding.
You can't deal with me at all. You put me on hold for 30 minutes.
Me, I wouldn't have done that. Anyway, happy anniversary, and we
thank y'all
pray
so
you
much.
have many, many more.
Well,
all right, Phil.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll just start from the beginning then. A little bit about myself is like I already mentioned, I've been in law enforcement for going on 11, 12 years. I'm actually still involved with the force. I'm part-time, just keeping my certificate active because I do have a passion in regards to that. However, 8 years ago, I got started in pressure washing. Started pressure washing on the side. I was over $30,000 in debt. I was tired of being broke, and I wanted to make more money outside of law enforcement. And pressure washing seemed like the perfect fit for it. So started pressure washing on the side and quickly was making a lot more money pressure washing part-time than I would being a full-time law enforcement officer. So for me, I wanted to get better. I wanted more for my family, right? So I decided to make the transition out of law enforcement full-time and into pressure washing full-time, but with the mindset of I didn't want to be stuck on a truck the entire time. So What I started doing was doing a lot of research in regards to building a business, having systems. How do I grow? Where are we going to be delegating? What is delegatable within this business? Because I don't want to be stuck on a truck, right? I'd rather be broke doing what I love than being stuck doing something I don't really want to do every single day, which pressure washing is fun, but it's not that fun that I want to do it 40, 50, 60 hours a week. So from that point on, 8 years ago, 7 years ago, I believe it was 2019, so 7 years ago, we started building out Elite Power Washing. Elite Power Washing was the third business that I had started. And this one actually took off incredibly, just due to discipline and being fully involved in the business. And from there, we've just structured and built out systems. And, now we're up to 5 trucks, 11 employees. We service 4 or 5 county area. And from there, we've built onto multiple businesses. So we bought out our largest competitor, Flagler Clean and Seal. We bought Elite Gym with cash from Elite Power Washing, so an investment into another company. My wife opened up Hardscape Ceiling Supply, which the hat that Anthony is wearing tonight. We've got an entire storefront where we do chemical lines, trailer build outs, training, education, which you'd made mention in regards to us being in Alabama. That's actually what we were doing up there. We had a new client that we had done a large flatbed build out for, and we actually traveled to Alabama, did a couple days worth of training with them. Great group of guys. Actually, I met them at the Panhandle Power Wash Expo. So, not to go off topic, but we always, we like to give our brownie points where they're due, which Panhandle Power Wash is a great expo to go to for anybody that's new or that has been in this industry for a long time. Something I like to tell everybody is I'm a lifetime learner, so I'm constantly going to be learning. Doesn't matter how much knowledge I have, I'm going to be learning nonstop. But when I was at the Panhandle Power Wash Expo, I made contact with a lot of people, mainly because this was the first event that I actually did my Built to Scale seminar at, which opened up incredible doors for me as a business owner. So networking is incredible. Doesn't matter where you go to network, just get out there and network.
Right.
But specifically, Panhandle Power Wash Expo was a great networking event. We made contact, sold multiple builds. We actually got our first paid gig for Built to Scale at a large franchise that took us out to Texas. And then now we're building out some trailers for these guys as well. So
that Texas trip was right after Panhandle, correct?
yeah, so that was 2 months after. So that was the beginning of January.
That's awesome.
Yep. Have a chance to get in the room with Phil and he's doing his Build to Scale presentation. I highly suggest you do it. I didn't get to catch all of it last year. Maybe one day I'll get in the room and I'll get to hear the whole thing and just sit down and just absorb the knowledge that he got. I mean, he's an open book. You may not like what he says sometimes, but truth hurts. And sometimes that's what we need. We need that tough love in our life to push us and get us to the finish line. And, that's what he does. He'll push you and push you and push you and tell you the right way to do it.
Growth is uncomfortable.
Hey,
and I'm uncomfortable a lot too, but it keeps me growing.
We all get that way.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, but once you really start getting down into the nitty gritty of it, a lot of it is exciting. A lot of it is fun. Getting in tune, God, self. I talk about all the time. GSFB, God, self, family, business. Really, just getting in tune with our emotions as business owners.
Yes.
And that's really what's scaling us and takes us to the next level. Being able to have emotional control, and all that good stuff. We do have a couple of seminars that we do have coming up. We'll be speaking at the Huge in August for the Built to Scale seminar. And then we're going to have another pop-up event as well. That'll be after that.
Awesome. To go back to the Panhandle Expo, it's my baby. And the reason it is, being in the industry so long, I've been to so many events. And to me, what was lacking was the passion. It was almost like, classroom setting, and it was structured to be like that, which is nothing wrong with that. But, as a distributor, but also an end user, going to these events, I seen they were targeting different things. It wasn't for everybody, and it was for me was confusing. I mean, I go to the huge as a contractor, and I'm just sitting here like, all this stuff is cool, but they won't sell it to me. So what do I do? And I learned from all these events that these events are all great events that I've been through all the years, but I wanted to do something a little bit different to focus on the passion we have as an industry and the networking and just getting these people
Right.
next to each other, and so they can learn and they can grow with each other. And you get on the Facebook groups and people's like, oh, these guys don't talk to me, they're not going to tell me their secrets. I tell you what, everybody's an open book. I have not heard one person at any of my events just say, oh, you figure it out for yourself. They're just sit there and they talk and they show the passion, the love for the industry. And that's what excited me to do this. And it's a lot of work.
Right.
And people like you that feel the same way, you have passion in the industry, you donate your time and your knowledge to help these other contractors. And I think that's what sets us a little bit aside from the other events, which they're all great events. I still go to them all because I still get to learn and network. It's just, they're all just a little bit different in
Right.
that aspect. So, I thank you for, bringing that up. And I am so happy you were able to network and grow yourself and your company and business through that, that
Right.
platform. So that makes
Yeah,
me
absolutely.
happy. That's what I do it for, to help others grow. And I'm so happy when you told me, like, this is what happened. I'm like, yes, awesome. That's what we need. We need people to see you,
Right.
do you, and have the passion that they can see, and like, we need this here.
Right.
So, I'm glad that it's working, and I'm so
Yeah,
happy.
absolutely. Well, we're super appreciative of it as well, and I think that's something that a lot of people don't see. It's kind of like if you guys look behind me at this iceberg, it's no different. Panhandle Power Wash Supply, even though it's a non-for-profit, it's a business, right?
Yeah.
And as business owners, we're emotional human beings, and people don't understand outside looking in truly how much work goes into something. So from a business standpoint, we have this iceberg where all of these emotions, all of the negatives, all of the times we have failed is hidden underwater, and all people are seeing is the cap that's above hand. It's the same thing with the Panhandle Power Wash. You've put so much blood, sweat, tears, and time into creating an incredible event that's based on education, that's based on growth, that's based on learning, that's based on networking, so that people can come together as a community. And sometimes people don't appreciate it for what it is, right? A free event. But even though it's free, it's not really free, because you've paid so much time and energy to build something so incredible and reputable. So hats off to you, Trudy, for all the hard work and creating an event that hundreds and hundreds of contractors show up to learn and make more money in their business and grow and create friendships and stuff like that. So
Well, thank you. And while we're on the topic, would you be gracious again this November to come and speak at the Panhandle? We would love for you to come back and speak for us. You are
yeah,
officially
absolutely.
invited
I'd be honored.
publicly, because we love what you do and what you bring to the table. And we would love for you to be there and just bring your knowledge and your passion back.
Absolutely. We appreciate the opportunity, and we'd love to be there.
Awesome. Love
So,
it. Thank you.
another shout out to the Panhandle Expo. I was actually at a different event,
Mhm.
and somebody else approached me that was participants of your expo, and they actually, after going to the Panhandle Expo and seeing that areas were so dirty on the property, they went and spoke with management and won the job to do the
Yeah.
cleaning at that location.
Nice.
So that's another, just success stories all over the place, and a lot of this, it's not just about being present, it's about going out of your comfort zone,
Mhm.
right? Being willing to do what others aren't willing to do, because you had how many contractors there? 2, 3, 400 contractors. How many of them took the time to take photos, to reach out to management, and essentially take their shot. You know, I would venture to say that was a very minimal percentage of them,
Yeah.
right? So this person took their shot, and they made it. So that's awesome.
Yes, it is. And it's all about, like you said, getting out of your comfort zone. And, when we post this and everybody's like, oh, it's free, it's not worth anything. And I'm like, I always say, I'm like, it's not free, it's priceless, because what you get out of it, you're going to take. And it's your choice if you're
Right.
going to use what you've learned and what you've heard. It's your choice to put it out in the field or put it to use. Because I know Aaron Hewitt, he's here and he was new, and he came back over to the store, and he's like, I was so nervous. I'm doing this full time now. And he goes, after going to the event, you just gave me the confidence to do this. And, he comes in and I'm like, hey, how you doing? And I'll text him. I'm like, he's like, I won this job. I'm like, I'm so proud of you. If you need
Right.
any help or any guidance, let me know. I'm here for you. And he chose to take what we were talking about and use it and grow.
Right.
And that's what I do it for. It makes me happy. It makes my heart melt when somebody messages me and it's like, hey, I went to this class and I did this and oh my gosh, look, or I learned this and I put it to use and made this much money, and now I can get out of the apartment. We're looking at buying a house, and this is just like, this is awesome. This is what
Right.
we want. And I think you and folks like you that do donate their time, and then that's who needs to get the credit and the kudos, because without them we'd have nothing.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, so essentially what you're saying is it's not just about showing up. You have to
Yeah.
show up,
Yep.
and then you have to take that knowledge and you have to apply it and be
Yeah.
disciplined with it. So a lot of people think that showing up is all that they need to do and then the business should blossom, but there is a lot of legwork that is involved with being a successful business owner.
It is.
Even being a not successful business owner, there's a lot of legwork that has to be
Yeah.
involved for you to get to a point where you consider yourself a successful business owner. It's a lot of training, a lot of courses, a lot of networking, a lot of different styles of marketing, a lot of applications. It's just nonstop systems. So
And
And
there's
yeah,
stuff that's gonna work for you,
Yeah.
and there's stuff that ain't gonna work for you.
right.
So if you're afraid of failing, I mean, so what? I spent money on stuff that didn't bring me nothing in. Was it a
Right.
fail? No, it was kind of a learning experience. Well,
Yeah.
let's not go back and do that no more.
right.
Right.
Let's try something else. You got to
And
find what work for you and what hits your market and what makes your brand stand out in your area. What works for Phil in Daytona may not work for me in Alabama. Same
And
thing
you-
with Trudy.
Yeah, don't stop trying. I mean, we've been washing in the industry for over 20 years. Today, I went and put up a little booth in a little community center with the wash company after 20 years. You can't give up.
Right.
You have to have your brand out there. You have to be present. You have to be, like I say, stay humble and hustle hard. You got to do it.
You have to be a local celebrity.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
have to, people have to, and you know how many people's like, oh, Classic Touch. We see your trucks all over the place. Matches the shirt, matches the business card, the trucks, it's branding. When you get a vision out there and people can see you and they know who you are, when they're saying, oh, I need to wash my house, they're going to think, oh, that bubble truck and that woman in the
Bubble truck.
community center. And they're going to put it together because you're present always. You're in the community doing stuff. So
When you create a brand that is so powerful that everybody knows your name, regardless if they use you or don't use
Yeah.
you,
Yeah.
that's when you know you've made it.
Yes.
You can have 60, 70, 80 pressure washers in a direct area or any other business for that matter. And somebody says they want something done and they know, hey, we need to call Classic Touch, or, Classic Touch may be too expensive for our liking because they've got the big trucks and maybe we'll call a owner operator or whatever. It doesn't matter. They know your name,
Yeah.
So that's what becoming a local celebrity is all about, is just making sure that people know your name. You have some of the largest companies in the world.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you guys were to dissect what their marketing percentages are, it's absolutely insane. Coca-Cola, Pepsi, all these different brands that everybody knows what it is, but they market anyways.
Yeah.
Like these brands in regards to gas stations, like if we're going to talk about sodas for a moment, like in
Good.
regards to gas station, these brands will purchase coolers that say Coca-Cola on it. The brands will give it to the gas station for free so that they can put it at the front door.
Mhm.
So that the first thing you do when you walk in is you see the Coca-Cola sitting in the bucket of ice. It's appealing. Even you weren't thirsty before you walked in the gas station, but now you
You're
see
gonna
this
grab that
Coke sitting
Coke.
in the bottom of the ice, and all the liquids are kind of like the water is beating down the sides of the bottles, and you're like, okay, I've got to get this Coca-Cola. That's marketing,
Yes.
Yep.
and that's paid for by the Coca-Cola company.
Mhm.
So marketing is so important when it comes to
Yeah.
business.
And it could be something just as simple as that. Or, people use yard signs. We can't use a lot of those here because we're a touristy area and code enforcement don't like it. But even like I do a lot of the they call guerrilla marketing for our wash company because I have all the time in the world. I don't know where,
Right.
but I do. But I get a bunch of pins made in the off season when it's all homeowners or the homeowners are because it's a second home. They're in town. I go and drop all these pins off at our local eateries where I know the locals go eat. So our brand is on the pin. And you can get pins for cheap. I mean, you don't have to spend a lot of money for it. But there's a lot of little things that you can do just to get your brand out in the community. Like I
Right.
tell people all the time, we paid $500 for a traveling little baseball team, and we're on all their social media, and they thanked us, and they put it on Facebook, and we get shout outs at their traveling games, and it's not a lot of money, but it is. I mean, it's not a lot of money for the year, I mean, or
Right.
how many months they're playing, but I think it's a year-round traveling team. But the parents love that. They love that you're putting money into the community and back into the community.
Right.
Like the meat sticks I buy from the Cub Scouts to give to my client, I mean, my customers. I put a meat stick from the Cub Scouts in each package, and that also benefits the Cub Scouts to put money back into them. Plus, it's also a tax write-off for me.
Right.
So, I mean, little things like that make you think and make them think like,
Right.
oh, I know these people. They're in our community. They're part of our community. And, showing up at one of these baseball games with your shirts on, people are going to, oh, that's them up there. Just simple things like that to help you grow your business
Right.
without spending a lot of money.
And really, it's not lost money, just like you
No.
said, it's a tax write-off.
Mhm.
So whatever you're spending, and Anthony made some mention earlier,
Mhm.
like sometimes you're going to try things, it's not going to work, and you go into
Mhm.
something else. It's not lost money. That money belongs to the business. It was never your money. If you
Right.
can create the mindset and think like a business leader,
Mhm.
it's not your money, it's the
Right.
business's money, and it's your job to ascertain where the money needs to be directed to for the growth of the company. So if you're thinking this way and you're having this mindset, then the money's not lost. The money's the tax
Right.
write-off, and it
Exactly.
was never yours to begin with. So try it. If it doesn't work,
Mhm.
do something
Do
else.
something different.
Yeah, don't not try something because you're scared. You think it's dumb. It's just it's your area, your community, like when I did that today, I give away swag all the time at Panhandle, and then I'm sitting there going, we're a town community center. I'm going to be around realtors and HOA people and property managers. What should I give them for swag? And I got these little cute little notebooks, and they got those little sticky tabs that sign here, all different colors that realtors use, and it had Classic Touch on it, and I gave them away, and then I got tissues, little thing of tissues with Classic Touch because we're in pollen season, everybody's sneezing, so you have to think of who your target is, your
Right.
market, and I mean, you're not going to give away some toys if you're in a over 55 community. You're not going to do that. You could think of where you're doing or where you're going and what you're doing, so you don't waste the business's money. So
Right.
it's oh, Patrick said none of my money is mine. It belongs to his wife, Christy. All right, Patrick. So anyway, she must be the business owner. But yeah, so what you do in scaling your business. I know you put a lot of information out there, and there's so much information that you and Patrick and I and Anthony and everybody knows this in the industry. Shannon and all these guys that are on here, they've all done something. They're like Anthony said, whoop, no, I'm not doing that again. But there's things they've figured out that works to grow their business. So
Right.
we're back to you. I'm going to shut up because I just spoke and now I'm going to lose my voice if I don't. So I'll let you continue with your scaling the business and what you've got going on coming up.
Yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
We got a question here.
Mm.
Somebody got up there, Servant Soft Wash. He
I miss
said, best chemical for tire marks on drive-through curbing, or a few chemicals.
Right.
You said tire marks.
Yeah, tire marks where they go around, hit the side of the curb and stuff. We use a caustic-based stuff, put it on there, let it set. Normally, about 75% of it to 80% of it's going to come off. I don't think I've really seen anything that get it all the way off.
Yeah, so
my F9 products in it, not get it all the way off.
yeah, my team members do the caustics as well, and something that helps get a little bit more off is just using the heat and then a turbo nozzle on it as well.
Yeah.
So you're gonna, you're chewing away a little bit at that curbing, but the curbing's already chewed away from all the tires. So yeah, you got to pick your evil. Chewed away curbing just a little bit, or your black tar.
But it's like that big oil stain that's in Mr. Ken's driveway. You're not going to get it all the way up. So, I mean, you just got to let the customers know you're going to do the best you can, but there's a chance that because it's down in the concrete and the pores, you're going to get what's on top and stuff. And when the sun comes back up, it's just going to pull it back up to the top.
Yeah.
So, just educate the customer, educate your people, and just let them know. Set the bar, but then try to go over to achieve it.
Yeah.
You think if the restaurant starts putting spike strips on like the edge of the curbing, that people will stop hitting it?
Don't say that. I've hit them with my truck a few times here lately.
Oh, you jumped a curb on the way to Orlando. That was a big curb you hit. So Shannon said go to a country club and give out beer koozies. That'd be good at a golf club. People play golf and they all drink. I don't know how they get the balls in those little holes by the end of the game, but I guess they got to play really good at the beginning and lose points at the end, or gain points. I think you gain points, right? In golf, I think it's backwards. I don't know. I don't play, but anyway, go ahead. We're back to you now.
The first thing to build the scale, what's the first step? Just little nuggets. You ain't got to give the whole thing. Just the first thing that somebody.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think the first thing in regards to scaling is just the identity shift in and of itself. You have to have an identity shift from being a laborer to being an actual business leader. And how do we get from that point? How do we get from A to B? How do we stop thinking that way? So that's a lot of what we're breaking into. And a lot of that is in regards to the emotional side, really honing in on what your reason why is for everything that you're doing. And every single one of us are going to have different reason whys. A lot of us are going to have kind of some of the same in some aspects, but not everybody's going to have the same. That's okay. It's all, it's indifferent. It really doesn't matter. Just whatever your reason why is, touch into your emotional side. And that's what's going to help shift that identity in regards to being a business leader and then scaling from there. It's a lot of hard work. I did a video today in regards to this, the emotional side of being a business owner, and it's hard. There's nothing easy about being a business owner. Where I'm at now, with having all the employees that we have, having the managers that we have, like this side is hard too. Just like being on the truck was hard. It's not easier for me. It's just a different type of hard. But this is everything that I'm working towards, and I'm building something that works without me. We're getting ready to fly into Rome for a couple of weeks, and my business's phone calls are going to be answered. We're going to have new jobs being booked. We're going to have tens of thousands of dollars worth of work being completed, and I'm going to be out of the country completely. And not a lot of people can say that,
I can say that next week.
That's why you're the queen of clean.
Yeah.
So, and a lot of people aspire to be there, but they don't know how do we get to these points. And then you do tell them how, and some of these individuals, they're just not willing to do the hard work and be disciplined and be the person that it requires to be to get to that location. And that's okay. We're here for all of it, you know. Like you advise, I do post a lot. I don't think there's anything that I don't post about my business
Right.
at all. We post everything, what works, what doesn't work, the good, the bad, the ugly, the money that we make, the money that we don't make. I'm the world's most open book, and it's because I love seeing people win.
Yeah.
I want everybody to win, just like you. The
Mhm.
same reason you created Panhandle Expo
Mhm.
is the same reason I created Built to Scale, and I do what I do because I love watching people win.
So, question for me, I don't know if you know this, but I'm a little bit of a workaholic, and I don't.
No, not you.
So, what did it for me? Last year I almost died twice. I was almost paralyzed twice, and I almost lost my limb once. I was on the couch. I'm still in pain. Almost a year later, I was on the couch for a year, and I still have my business. I was still working on my phone, but I couldn't physically go do anything.
Right.
So after all that, I'm just sitting here thinking, going, I'm putting my life into this business and this industry, which I love, which I will continue to do. But I need to scale back a little bit on that and put myself, and like you said, God and family and everything first. So, I'm spending more time with my grandbabies. I am spending more time with my kids and my family, and I still take care of the business, and it's being taken care of. It might not be as taken care of as well as if I was doing it, but it's all handled. Um, and do you feel like there's reasons, like my reason was probably different than your reason to step back off the truck or the business and move forward? I mean, there's got to be different.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm gonna go in two different
Okay.
directions. One that's gonna be beneficial for the listeners, and then one that's gonna be beneficial for the givers, which would be you guys. So number one, yes, it plays a huge role into why we move into the direction that we're moving, because we want to be able to be at 5 o'clock football practice with our kids on a
Mhm.
Friday night. We want to be able to have the weekends off and enjoy it with our families. We don't want to be having to work overnights cleaning gas stations and being away from sleeping with our spouses. Like, you're creating all this, and is somebody else going to be coming in and doing that stuff? Absolutely, but there's a price to be paid for it, and you take care of your people in regards to that aspect. But yeah, it plays a huge role. Your reason why, as to why do I want to grow to a point where I'm able to extract myself and enjoy life, like, because we can. It's the American dream, right? It's what everybody wants. It's what everybody thrives for, and we can do it united. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So the other aspect I'm going to break off into that is just, we're going to take you for example, Trudy. Like, you talking about being a workaholic, everything that you do all day long, you're nonstop answering phone calls, you're answering orders, you're shipping out, you're answering customers, you're doing all this stuff, and at the same exact time you're having hundreds of messages come through a week asking you questions,
Mhm.
right? So
Mhm.
for the listeners, the receivers on that end, I would implore you guys, be grateful and thankful for what's being given. I can't tell you the amount of times that I see somebody like Trudy who will take the time to answer a huge question, go out of her way, give a great response, and then all she gets in return is thanks. Like, I just stopped my entire day. I just stopped my 7-figure operation, right, to answer a question for you. And then all I get in return is a quick thanks, or it's just left on red and you don't get a response from it. Like, that person took it, received it, and then
Yeah.
ran, and then didn't give back to the person that was giving, that was, I, and I think a lot of it is just completely missed over. Like,
Mhm.
they don't understand truly, like, how busy you are, how busy Anthony is, how busy we are, and like all these other educators that are out here in the industry, even your free event, like, people should be running and jumping in your arms and hugging you and being so thankful that you've put on something so incredible that they can just show up for free and just take in all of this knowledge, and everything that's being provided is being provided to completely go through and build a multi-figure company, you know So
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And you know what? Last time you were on here, somebody in a hardscape hat said that he was working off and getting off the truck. Do you remember that?
yes.
How's that going, Anthony?
I'm still working on that.
Okay. It's hard.
It's
Hard.
probably it's gonna happen, but it's probably gonna be this summer.
Yeah.
Well, this is what I will say, Anthony, because I watch, right? So I've noticed from since I've known you and where we are now, the different steps that you're taking as a business owner that proves to show more discipline, right? Like, what is something that you do every single day now that you didn't do before? You wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning and you go to the gym, right?
Sometimes it's
That's
earlier than that, brother.
that's a huge success story in and of itself, you know. So what you're doing right now is you're building the platform to be able to make yourself strong enough to pull away, so that you can replace yourself, you know, and then you can start delegating. So even though the switch in and of itself hasn't occurred at this point in time yet, the switch is being turned, and it's just taking all of the implementations that's required of you to take. It's not what people need to understand. It's not just a light bulb that switches just like that, and the next thing you know, you're off the truck and you've got
Yeah,
7 employees,
yeah.
and it's very gradual changes. They're very small implementations that are being made over time, so that you can get to this point. Phil Conway, at this point in time, with Elite Power Washing and 11 employees and 5 trucks, was not this Phil Conway 7 years ago.
Right.
And I have to pause and I have to appreciate this moment, because I look back and I think of the Phil Conway 7 years ago in 2019, dreaming of this moment right here. It's almost emotional to think about, you know, like, this is everything that I wanted. And now I'm in this space, and instead of appreciating it, I'm thinking about what's the next big thing, you know? So take time, be satisfied, be happy, pat yourself on the back, reward yourself. Like, Anthony, it's huge, you know, like you're doing great things.
Well, you know, and I looked at it. I didn't look at it like that, but I looked at it like this. You can go back and look at some of the pictures that from the Panhandle event, and I'm in them. I was 285 pounds. I always tell my kids, I'll work circles around you. Was I doing it? I probably was. Was I staying up with them? Yeah. I mean, they're 20-year-old young men. Can a 55-year-old man keep up with them? And I've just got, like, you know, I had to do something better for me, for myself, number one, and for my family.
Right.
If I'm not taking care of Anthony, how can I take care of them?
Correct.
How can I take care of the business if I'm not taking care of myself? And that's trying to eat right. I know people don't like going to the gym. I didn't like going to the gym, but it come to be a routine to me to do it. And now I'm up. If I'm not, usually I'm up by 5 and I'm there. If I wake up earlier than that, I go ahead and get up and I go on and do my thing. Because if I know if I lay there in that bed, it's going to be 7 o'clock in the morning, and now my whole morning's shot. And it's just that, and, you know, had to get right spiritually, mentally, physically, and everything. And I know God's going to open up the doors, put the people in place for me to do that. And when they do, me and the wife's coming to Daytona for a week. It's going to spend it with y'all guys.
Right. You know what's wild is we're sitting here talking about the emotions in regards to being a business owner, and everything you're doing, I can literally feel the emotions pouring out of you as to why you do what you do. Like, this is a very live demonstration for all of the viewers right now. Like, I can see you. You don't even have to speak. I can see it on your face. The emotional side coming out, you know, and that's the power behind emotions and utilizing it to unearth your full capabilities. It's insane.
And I want to say, though, I am really proud of you, because knowing you as long as I have seen you grow and be more disciplined. And watching you over these years, it's like two different people. And, I'm so proud of watching you grow, not only your business, but yourself. And I'm proud to be part of your life to watch that. So congratulations. I am so proud of you, my buddy. Everybody asks, is that your brother? I'm like, well, pretty much. Not really. We're not related, but I said we pick at each other and everything like brother and sister. But no, I've seen where your journey has taken you, and I am so proud of you and proud to call you a friend. And I don't know if you know this, Phil, but when I was on that couch and I was my eyes are gone, it's getting dusty in here. When I
You
was on
wasn't on the couch.
I was on the couch and I was on 16 pills a day. I was in pain. I couldn't move. And I told him, I said, I don't think I can do this. I don't have anything left. And he might have said a couple 4-letter words to me to get my bleep off that bloop and get right, because people need me. And I'm just sitting there like, I just got yelled at. I'm feeling bad. And he just yelled at me.
The first thing I said, you can't give up because you got family that need you. You got grandbabies that need you.
Right.
I didn't go in and say you got a business to run.
No, nothing about it. He never mentioned business.
The business
people need you.
Showed it, and I said your loved ones need you.
Yeah.
It's time. I know you're in pain. I know you're hurting. But this is what I was talking about a while ago, the tough love that we share with one another, because we can do it because that's who we are. Right. I mean, us three, we can give one another tough love, and it's not going to cause hard feelings and conflict. Right. And I told us, look, you're going to have to get off the couch. Get up, move around. You got
that night we did a podcast. That night we did a podcast. Right.
You got to get your body back to motivating back to the way it was going.
Can we touch on this really quick? And viewers, I promise you, this was not planned at all. This is actually crazy. I'm looking over here at Anthony, and I'm seeing the emotional side of power that's able to elevate him. And then I'm looking over here at Trudy in the same exact breath, and we're watching the emotional power that de-elevated you. You know what I mean? So people don't understand, like, the emotions can 100% put you on a high, and those same emotions can 100% put you on a low. And it's up to you. Number one, you have to have a really strong knit group of individuals around you. Like, people don't talk about how lonely it is being a business owner. It is extremely lonely, especially the younger generation. You almost have to cut everybody off. Everybody's out partying nonstop, and they're going to strip clubs and drinking every single night. Like, and you're like, I just want to have a healthy family, and I just want to be successful, and I want to create generational wealth. But it's so important that on this lonely road that you do have a tight-knit group of powerful people that are capable of taking those emotions that are powerful enough to put you in a grave and allowing them to elevate you, to put you on a pedestal. So it's so powerful. It's crazy that you guys are sitting here talking, you bring up that story, and then we got the opportunity now to look at both sides of how emotions truly make or break you as a human.
Yeah. And it's just my family was catering to me, bringing me food and stuff, and and because I wasn't supposed to move, but I had my ankle was this big, and it was that night Anthony told me, people need you. You need to get off the couch. You need to get your mind right, because sitting there just dwelling doesn't do anything. And I think it was that night we did the podcast. I looked horrible, but I sat here and got through it. And I don't think I missed one after that, unless I was on a plane or something. I think I was on a plane to go to Reno. But, it takes lifting each other up. We're both contractors. We both have washing companies. You don't have to push each other down to get ahead. Working together, building each other up makes so much difference in the world. If we have something come up striping, we call Anthony. He comes down, he does the striping. If he had a gas station that needed to be done down here, he couldn't do that. So he called us to do it. And we worked with other people, other contractors, to build each other up. And, if we didn't do that gas station, it would have looked bad on his business. It would have put him in a spot because he had the contract. So helping each other out and doing things for each other in business, you shouldn't be competing with each other. You shouldn't hate each other because you do the same line of work. You've got to lift each other up. You've got to help each other.
Right. Yep. And that's what we should all be striving to do, is ensuring that, hey, there is no competition out here. It's okay to it's okay to create the same exact machines and have the same exact ideas. It's okay to build out the same skids and have my customers are going to be my customers. Your customers are going to be your customers, you know? And innovation is happening nonstop. You know, we should all be able to work together. We should all be able to sit in the same room and break bread together. Like, in 100 years, every single person that's on this earth right now is going to be dead.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
and
Yeah.
what kind of legacy are we leaving behind? Are we leaving behind the legacy of the person that was groaning nonstop and putting people down and they were disgruntled and they weren't happy? Are we leaving a legacy that I gave something back? I gave back to the community. I made a name for myself, you know? I made a name for my children, right? Like these are important things, and a lot of people can't seem to grasp that concept in regards to you being your only competition, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't think people realize the power of your words have over your life.
Mhm.
I mean, you get up in the morning and you think that you ain't got no jobs, you ain't got this, you ain't got that. You're not going to have it.
Right.
I don't get up in the mornings and think negative thoughts, because if I do, it's gonna make my day, excuse my French, but shitty. I'm not here to walk through a crap life.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be an overcomer. Whatever this world throws at me, I know I can walk through it,
Yes, sir.
because that's how I set my mind in the morning when I get up. It's strictly word. I turn on my apps. I get all kind of the word going in my body, and I dwell on that during the day. And it helps me as a person. It helps me be a man. Phil just fell down.
Oh man,
I did that once.
you're getting too powerful over there.
No,
Just
but
dropping that knowledge. Let's look at this space.
just don't sit around and
Yeah.
and think bad, especially on yourself, anybody else. I mean, because you can tear somebody down with just a couple of words. I mean, there's people that has been hurt over the years. Well, some a high school teacher probably told them they wasn't going to never amount to nothing. That's stuck in their mind for the rest of their life, till they come across the person that says, "Hey, look, you ain't got to be that person no more. You're more than that. You're more than a conqueror. You're an overcomer."
Right.
And that's what I want people to see in me. I want them to see, man, this dude, his back against the wall, he ain't giving up. He's pushing through and everything. And they'll do that because of the people I put around me that I got in my circle. My circle's not big, but it's people that I know if I'm having a bad day and I can't get out of it, I can pick the phone up and call and say, "Hey, look, get me off this edge."
Right.
And I heard something the other day. Somebody said, if you wake up and you start your day negative, you wake up negative, you're going to be negative all day long.
Yep.
Wake up, be positive, wake up and look at your kids or look at your spouse and look at what you've accomplished and just be positive, because that could all be gone in a second.
Yeah. I don't know if you remember, it's been probably about 20 years. I was in my young age, maybe 10 years old, 12 years old. There was a test that they ran on TV. I remember, I don't know if it was on the internet or if internet was a thing back then. Either way, I just remember them running a test in regards to plants. And they had two or three different plants. And they would go and they would talk negatively to one plant every single day. And the plants were in the same environment. So they would talk negatively to the plant every single day, and they would talk nice to this plant every single day. And the plant that they were talking nice to, now whether this was real or not, I have no idea. But I find it hard to believe that 20 years ago they'd be able to implement some sort of artificial intelligence to make it look that way. But the plant that they talked negatively to died. And regardless if it's real or not real, she's saying that it's real, so it's got to be real. The plant that they spoke negatively to every single day ended up wilting and dying, and the plant that they, spoke life into grew and blossomed.
Yep.
So whether it's real or not real, it's a powerful story behind it, and it's true on the emotional level between human beings.
Yes, and in this industry, there's several, or quite a few people that because it's not a regulated one. You don't have to have background checks and all that. There's a lot of people that has a rough beginning in life. Bad childhood, homeless, drugs, alcohol, whatever it may be.
Right.
And when you see them, and they are so amazingly strong, and they're successful, and they're just working so hard to not live that life that they were before. And I see this almost on a daily basis in here. And what I love about it is these fellow contractors, these fellow washers are not ashamed. They own it. Hey, I was fatherless. My mom was on drugs. I was a teenager, dropped out of school. I got on drugs. I got on alcohol. I got arrested. And I look back, and that's not me. And they change it. They change it for the positive. And I see a lot of people's like, oh, somebody posts something and I comment and they text me, do you know he went to jail? And I'm like, how many people probably went to jail that are in pressure washing? I don't care. I don't care what their past is. I don't care what your past is. I don't care what
Not at all.
is. When I met you,
They all come out of it.
the people that you are and what you have accomplished, what you did in your past had no bearing on my life. It doesn't affect me at all. But knowing it, like if you say, hey, this was my past and this is where I'm at, I applaud you. I applaud you for pulling yourself out of that and making you a better person for you.
Right.
And I see this all the time on the groups, and it hurts me, when people's like, hey, you know what, this guy's been arrested, this guy did this, and I'm like, I don't care. That doesn't affect me personally. As long as he's learned from his mistakes or paid for his mistakes and he's moved on, then I will support him tooth and nail. I don't care. It's hard for me to not support people.
Why would we not want them to be a better person?
Exactly.
Why would we not want to support that progress? Like, let's support them going back to being a shitbag, like what?
Right.
Like, we need more of those in the world. Like, no, like applaud them, befriend them. Like, and some of those individuals, like Gavin just said, are some of the most powerful people out here. They've been to the lowest of lows. They know what it's like to be below rock bottom, and they've elevated themselves, and they know that they're never going back down there. But then you have other people who have been blessed to never have to hit rock bottom. They don't know what it feels like, So they get a little weak around the edges, and sometimes they get complacent.
It's like when you were a server. I served when I was younger, and the people that left the worst tip were the doctors and the lawyers, the people that didn't have to work that hard. I mean, not saying their school's not hard, but they lived a lifestyle where they didn't have to hope and pray they had $3 to put the gas in their car, or be a single parent, and they didn't have to do that. So when they paid for their $300 meal and left a $5 tip, they thought they were doing something, when the server's just like, I don't know if I got enough gas to go home because he left me a $5 tip, and they were there sitting at my table for 4 hours drinking wine. So in my experience, it's the people that always had it that give the least back.
Right.
Not all of them.
Have I ever spoken about the giving spoon analogy with you guys on this show? So there's this analogy. It's called the giving spoon analogy. So essentially, everybody's got some form of spoon. So if we go into a room where everybody has a eating spoon, what are they going to do? Everybody's taking bites for themselves. They're hardly getting any. Everybody's kind of fighting over the bowl. You enter a room as a networker, and you have a giving spoon, which is a feeding ladle essentially, and you're taking a huge scoop and you're putting it on somebody else's plate. And those same exact people are taking large scoops and they're putting it on other people's plate. Eventually, everyone's going to have huge scoops on their plate, and it's just comes back tenfold. The giving analogy, I remember five years ago, this story is wild to me still. Like, I used to, and I still do, like, I give a lot. And I was eating at one of my favorite restaurants in St. Augustine. I was just on like the uptick of like getting my employees in place, and we had a bunch of estimates that were out. Either way, so I'm sitting here by myself. I eat lunch by myself occasionally because I need to decompress. It's stress free, peaceful. We go out onto the water. And at the end of it, I was just inclined to give $100 tip to the server. So I didn't speak with her. I just left. I paid my bill, left $100 bill inside of the folder, and I walked away. And like as I was walking away, she actually like chased me down and thanked me for the tip. And I was like, awesome. Like, yeah, have a great day. And like you deserve it. You did great. Whatever. Walk into my car, I start driving away. I get a notification on my phone that one of my estimates were just approved, and the estimate was one that I completely forgot about. It was from 9 months prior, and it was a $37,000 estimate.
Hmm.
So in my head, don't go giving $100 thinking you're going to get a $37,000 estimate approved. But that's just how God works. Like I had no intentions of receiving something back, and I was like, I'm just inclined to bless this person, so I'm going to follow my instinct and I'm going to bless this person. And then within an hour, I'm having a huge blessing falling back up on my lap. So the giving spoon is extremely powerful.
But Phil, you planted them seeds along the way.
Mm-hmm.
The seeds has been planted,
Right?
Probably years and years ago. And just because you plant these seeds, then don't mean you're going to get them the next month.
Right.
I mean, you're going to get them the next 3 months. It may take 2 years. You just got to keep planting, keep working it. Because when man fell in the beginning of the Bible, God said we work for what we have to have now.
Right.
And thank to Adam, he screwed it up. That's why life's so hard. You got to work your ground. You got to till your ground. You got to keep doing it. Keep planting them seeds. Keep working it. Get the weeds out of it. Keep doing all the things you should do. Right. And then on the other side, in due timing,
Right.
God opened up the doors for you.
Yes,
and
sir.
you have to walk through them.
And not only that, I've got a story. A lot of people know me. I can sit at a restaurant by myself, just like you, decompress, or I had to go run somewhere and I'm sitting there. And I was at this one place by myself eating a salad. It was like an $8.99 lunch. And one of my fellow washers, or I can't even remember, it was so long ago, came up and was giving me a hard time. And the waitress came up and she's like, "Do you know him?" And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, okay, I'm just making sure you're safe because he just came at you like that. And I'm just like, no, and I'm just sitting there thinking, going, I'm a woman sitting here by myself in the evening, and some strange man that was sitting across the room just came out, and he wasn't anything bad, just joking around with me, but to them it looked threatening.
Right.
And she made sure. She said, "Are you okay? Do you need somebody to take you to your car?" And I'm like, no, I'm good. I left her $100 tip on that thing because she went out of her way to make sure I was safe.
Yeah.
And I was just like, you know what? She needs to be rewarded for her actions. She needs to be rewarded to take it away from her. Like, oh no, this guy could be crazy, but came to me to make sure I was okay when she didn't have to. Other people walked by and didn't care. She came over, and I'm like, I appreciate that.
Right.
So, give back to the community that gives to you. There's a lot of good out there. And the more good that you are and the more good you get to see. I'm a big believer in karma, not negative karma. I mean, I'm sure there's out there.
I believe in negative karma too.
I try not to because I don't want the negative side. So I try to always believe in positive karma. But I also don't want to do anything bad to somebody because I know it's gonna come back at me. So that's what I mean. I don't believe in negative. I don't believe doing something.
You don't believe in giving out negative energy on any level.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And
we shouldn't.
And I think that all of us can attest in this room right here. We probably have people that aren't so keen towards us, and that's okay.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I still pray for them. I want them to win. I want them to be successful. I see that they have families and children, and their children need them to be successful. So, I want them to be the best versions of themselves.
Yes. Amen. I do too. I mean, this world would be a better place if we just all thought like that. I'm not tooting my own horn. I talk to a lot of people, but then I also talk to a lot of people that's just they start out the sentence negative, and when they start the sentence negative, and the conversation keeps going, and then I start feeling negative, and I'm just like, I
You
don't
start
want.
to wilt. You're
Yeah,
the
and I'm
plant that
just
starts
yeah, like
wilting
the
up.
plant. I'm
Okay,
like,
plant.
I don't want this conversation anymore. I don't want to be around this negativity. I want happy, So let me play with my puppy for a little bit, or go get the grandbabies. But what if you're around negative people, you're going to be negative.
Right.
If you surround yourself with positive, hardworking people that's going to help you grow, you're going to do that. You're going to be in that environment. And I honestly believe that whatever that's not karma, whatever that is, it's choosing your surroundings to succeed. I don't know if that's a thing, but I just said it, so it must be. It's on social media, so it's true now.
You surround yourself with successful people, you're going to be successful.
Correct.
You surround yourself with potheads and dopeheads, you're going to be a pothead and dopehead.
Right.
You may not be at first,
Yeah.
but if you keep hanging around down here at the bottom of the food chain, that's where you're going to be at.
Whether you do the action or not do the action, being present is just as bad as it. And you're going to pick up those attributes that they're putting into it. So remove yourself 100%,
So we just turned this into a therapy session from today. So
It was
we're
not
over, but
scripted.
yeah, it wasn't scripted. It just happened. There was a little dust in mine and Anthony's room. So not our room together, his room and my room. I don't want gossip to start. But now you can finish this out, because you haven't not spoke a lot about what you're doing, even though our conversations you brought back into what
right.
you do, which actually was totally not scripted at all. We have no notes. I've got inventory papers, but that's about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
So before we close out, I do want to thank both you and Anthony for having me on the show. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. Two things that we've got big going on right now is number one, we've got a new workforce that we do. We do mentorship and coaching on Built to Scale platform. We've got a new coaching platform on school, which you guys can find on my Facebook page. We already have a lot of business owners, successful ones that are entering it. And we're going to be going through a 12 series training program, Identity Shift being the first series for that program to shift your identity in regards to being a successful business owner. Just recently, there's been a lot of questions in the industry in regards to hourly pay versus performance-based pay. I just did a 9-minute long video in regards to the powers of performance-based pay. So if you haven't had an opportunity to check it out, go onto my Facebook page, watch that video. It's super informative. It's not going to be for everybody, and that's okay. It's just so you understand how performance-based pay truly does work and how it separates your company and elevates your employees at the same exact time. So super excited. We will be at the Huge once again doing our Built to Scale seminar, and then we will be at Panhandle Expo setting off our first new season of Built to Lead. So no longer be Built to Scale, we'll be elevating into Built to Lead, and we'll be taking off that at the Panhandle Expo for the first time.
Cool.
Awesome.
We'll get the first.
First, I love the first at the Panhandle. Awesome.
Love it.
We appreciate it. And how do people find you to sign up or go to these classes? So the Huge, all they know, but
So if they go onto my Facebook page, everything's going to be on there. The name of the course is Conway Elevates, and then it is Scale Mode.
okay,
So
Conway with an N or an M on the elevates.
with an N. So if they go onto school, SKOOL, it's Conway, CONWAY Elevates, and then Scale Mode. And they can find it on my Facebook page as well.
Okay, and that's with the M.
With an Facebook page is with an M.
Yes,
Correct.
I'm trying to decipher this so they know how to find you.
Yeah, one of these days I'll drop a couple bands and we'll get it fixed.
Okay. Need a little black Sharpie or blue Sharpie or whatever.
Yeah.
Just take that. But
He's not hard to find.
no, he is not.
He's on Facebook every day, a couple times.
Yeah, so if you don't know him,
Good stuff.
you're not on Facebook at all each day. I mean, you're there. I see you. You're on my little screen on little reels to watch every morning when I get up and wish my happy birthdays and I do my educational post. There you are right there. You're always doing something. You're always talking about something interesting and educational, informational. And I respect you for that. Thank you. We need more of that. I try to do what I can do on my end. I'm different than you. I'm a washer. So my stuff that comes out is not as educational as yours or well, not educational, but like I'm trying to say like book education. I'm trying to, I can't.
You're extremely educational. I just think that
Yeah.
maybe the word you're
I'm
looking
just trying
for
to
is
say
maybe
just-
not as in depth in some
Right.
platforms. I think that what you educate on is a lot more upfront business wise,
Yeah.
where what I'm educating on is a lot more back of the house business wise.
That's it. I was trying to get that out. I'm like, well, no, I'm educational, but you do it different. So no, I mean, you get everything. Yeah, I do the educational washer style. You do it to get off the truck and move your business forward style. So
Yes,
awesome.
ma'am.
Well, thank you, and I'm so happy you're going to be at the Panhandle Expo.
Absolutely.
And you guys find him for more information, more educational stuff, and to take on his next what is it called again? Built to Lead.
Built to Lead is going to be at Panhandle Expo.
Panhandle. So that's
Correct.
your next chapter of what's going on now. So thank you so much. I know it's past your bedtime. I really appreciate you being here. And sorry we had to do a Dr. Phil thing on the podcast. It was the first time for that, but it worked. I felt better. Do you feel better, Anthony?
I always feel good, honey. You know that.
That's the power of being in the same room with Phil Conway.
There we go. Thank you.
Does it, brother? Love you. Tell the wife hello. She's probably in bed. Hey, Jasmine, if you're up.
Yeah. Tell her, hey, Shane's up. Well, he might not be. I don't know. He's at home. I can't hear him snoring from here.
But y'all have a good night, everybody, and we'll see y'all next week.
All right,
Take
guys.
care, man.
Stay humble, hustle hard, and register for the Panhandle Expo to see this guy just speak amazing, miraculous words that, I mean, you're an amazing speaker. You just goosebumps every time you start, every time.
I appreciate that.
You're welcome. All right, guys, have a great night, and you guys have a great weekend, and happy Easter.